Hello everyone, we're going to continue with stem stitch as part of our stitch along for this video, and we're going to work on a little nest using raised stem stitch. So I've drawn a little moon shape and I've put some lines in place. I'll see how I go. In the book it talks about having lines between 2 to 3 millimeters apart. These are probably a little bit wider, but I am using a thicker yarn. I'm using the one that I used up here. So what we're going to do is start by working some straight stitches. So I'll put an initial one in just at this little end which I hadn't marked on. And then I'll start, I'll put an extra stitch in, I think, in between each of the lines that I've marked, just to make sure they're close enough together. So I'll add an extra one in here. So I'm just putting little down stitches in place. Going from top to bottom. And this is going to be the framework that we do our raised stitches on. Could have done it over the little bird, but I quite like the little bird, so I thought I'd leave that as is and add a little nest instead. So that way our bird has a nice little place to hang out. I might actually just space this slightly different from the other line. Just do it a tiny bit further along, I think. There we go. Okay, so then we're going to pass our needle under the thread all the way to the other end without skewering any of the thread. And it says it's best to work the stitch in a hoop using a crewel needle for the base and a tapestry needle for the stem stitch. Now I'm just having a look if my needles are over here. I think they are. So I might see if my tapestry needle is in here to change to that one. It's quite thick though, so I'll have to see how it goes on this fine framework. Should have brought it, actually I should have used that other needle to come to the front first, and then we'll be working on the front and I can change to the tapestry needle. So I'll bring it to the front at the very end of the shape, so right at my end point, trying to wrap myself around the fabric, and then I can change to my tapestry needle. Okay, and then what we're then going to do is to take our tapestry needle underneath the first stitch with our thread looped down below in this case, and we're going to take it through from left to right, so from right to left, over the top of the other thread, and we're going to gently pull it through and wrap around that first little downward stitch, and then we're going to move across and do a second wrap, and then we're just going to keep doing that, always with our thread below and always with, then when we take our needle underneath the foundation thread, we're above the other thread, and then we just need to work our way along doing that on each stitch. And the the good thing about a tapestry needle is it won't sort of skewer your threads by accident. Okay, and then at the end we need to take our needle through at the end. So it's okay, I can still get my tapestry needle through. And then we need to do the same process of pushing. We need to push this line, the first thread that we took underneath, we need to push that down to the bottom, because we need to now take our thread back to the other end. So I'm just running my tapestry needle underneath and getting it back to the other end. I suppose it doesn't matter on the back, yeah, whether it is all sort of stacked down. And then I need to come out right on this end. And then we need to go along and work our next set of stitches. And it says just make sure it has an instruction further on, which is to achieve a clean, crisp look, ensure that the start and finish of each row is precisely on the pencil line. Pack down each row before beginning the next. So I guess that's the only thing I need to kind of just be aware of, packing down the stitches. And so continue working rows in the same manner. So I do my first stitch. It's already getting quite tight up at this end because I guess we're already created quite a filling stitch for that small area. But always with the thread below where you are and just forming those little loops over your foundation. And I guess pulling down will just help to pack them down as well. So holding the thread sort of down as you do your stitches. It's going to be a very little cozy nest for our little bird. Okay, and then back to the back of the fabric again. And if you can have a look, it's just creating a really lovely little stitch, almost like knitting on the surface. So again, we need to pass ourselves. It's actually easier to pass below where the previous thread was rather than pushing the thread down. So that's interesting. And then we need to pop out on the line. So yeah, we need to be moving along that upper line now. As we've filled up this little section here, we need to move a bit further along the line. Oops, pulled out at least these tapestry needles are very easy to thread. So again, I'll put one wrappy stitch here. And then I'll continue along over here. Quite a relaxing stitch to do actually, like a little weaving stitch. Glad I chose to do a nest. I think it is going to make a really nice little nesty effect. I have to remember this because I do love adding nests to my work. Usually they're little scrap nests, but this is a very nice effect. I don't know, maybe I'm meant to go in about there. Now I'm not sure whether I assume I might get enough. I actually might tie that one off at this end and then get myself a new bit of thread that has a bit more width in it. So I'll just tie that off here. not width in it, I mean a bit more length in it. Okay, I'll save that one for the ort jar. So I'm just using this vintage crochet thread. Put a knot in the end, and I can start at this end without having to pass my needle back. That's an advantage as well. Oops. I think I need to put a bigger knot on it because I forgot that the hole that this creates is actually a fair bit bigger. So we'll need a better anchoring. Okay, so we're going to begin again with our thread below our needle and looping it over each of our spokes or each of our foundation stitches. Thought this was going to be harder just looking in the book, but I like this one. And it's so lovely and textural, I really do like it. Okay, I think we'll pop to the back here. Then we can do our threading under again. The tapestry needle's definitely good for this bit because you don't want to be catching anything there. And then I'll pop up a bit further along the line, I guess, up here. Keeping our thread below, finding our little foundation threads and passing under. Oops, sorry, I just bumped the camera. Apologies for that, folks. And I've got a little knot because it wouldn't be a video without a knot forming in Christine's thread. What has happened here? There we go. Not be gone. Okay, which one was that wrapped around? That one there. Yeah, definitely use a tapestry needle. I think it would get very hard at this point if you were using a pointy needle. I think you'd just keep catching things by accident. So I think that's as many as we'll get in there. To the back again, and then passing ourselves under the threads back to the other end, and then popping up. I think we're probably about up to this point maybe now. Going under. Not sure how well you can see, but I'm just continuing to work stitches underneath each of the foundation stitches, but I feel like we're almost getting to a point where I would say we're done. I reckon that's probably as many as I can work across there. So I might only be doing one more row, I think. Let's just make sure we don't make a knot on the surface here. Then I'll pass that under again. Oops. And then I think I can probably only fit maybe one more tiny little row along here. Let's see if I can get any more little under stitches in. one there. Oops, yeah, it's getting pretty tight now, so I think this will definitely be the last row. I think that will be the last stitch, so I'll take that to the back there. And that is our beautiful little nest. Look how dimensional it is. Look how pretty and shiny and raised it is. Really, really happy with that. I think that is very, very sweet, and I think I've got a pretty good outline. I could have probably been a bit sharper in that corner, but I hope you enjoyed that one. That was stem stitch raised, and tomorrow we're going to do stem stitch ribbon rows. I'll see you then. Thanks everyone. Bye.